Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Resume Ready podcast. My name is Brian Schneider, and on today's episode, I'm going to discuss how to better understand your audience. First, though, I want to tell you that today's episode is sponsored by the great people at Bradley Garrett Salon on Brookhaven Circle. No doubt by now, if you've been listening to my podcast, you've heard me talk about the good folks who work at this salon. The stylists at Bradley Garrett believe that everyone needs a break from the hustle and bustle of life. When you're at the salon, they make you feel special, creating a relaxing, comfortable atmosphere focused on helping you achieve the resilience we all need. It goes without saying that the stylists are experienced, and in addition to regular haircuts and trims, they can do highlights and even keratin smoothing treatments. I highly encourage you to check out Bradley Garrett Salon on Brookhaven Circle. Now on to the podcast. Understanding your audience. When I use the term audience, I'm referring to the people at a potential employer who are tasked with reading your resume to make an informed decision about whether you could be a strong candidate to fill a vacancy. In other words, these are the people making judgment decisions about the value you could bring to their organization and whether you should be considered for the interview stage of the hiring process. The following is a general list of people in the positions who could end up reading your resume. You could have an entry-level HR person, or even someone at a manager level in HR. The company could have its own internal recruiting department where people are reviewing your resume. The hiring manager will likely read it. One or more department heads may be asked to review it. Someone from the C-suite, such as the CFO or CEO, could read it. And you might also have peers from the same division containing the vacancy review your resume. Each one of these people brings a different perspective to the consideration given your resume, and your job is to craft a strong resume that has content which appeals to most of the people I just named. The next aspect of your audience on which I want you to focus is the potential mindset of the readers. People charged with filling a vacancy are looking for someone who could be a good fit. They're trying to picture you learning the job and working well with the team. Keep in mind that readers could be sensitive to potential conflicts or incompatibility while thinking of the last person who held this position. They may worry about your lack of performance and about you having a short-term mindset. They could be concerned about you being a liability rather than an asset. As I mentioned previously, if you craft a strong resume, you've done your job in presenting yourself as a low-risk, good fit, and high-value candidate worth further consideration. Next, I want to talk about bias. We're all human and we're all shaped by our past experiences, both positive and negative. It's been noted that we as humans often have a default mode of worry, cynicism, or negativity. This tendency could cause the reader to review your resume with a critical spirit or as a pessimist rather than an optimist looking for a good fit. Inherent bias is a great reason for you to take the time to proofread your resume and have two others proofread it as well, so there are no spelling or grammar mistakes. The fact that a vacancy exists means the company either needs to staff up because there is more work than the current employees can handle, or it's trying to fill a position previously occupied by someone who left or was asked to leave. When you stop and think about the latter scenario where the company is filling a previously occupied position, you can begin to understand the impact of being short-staffed. 1. An increase in workload. 2. A reduction in team performance. 3. A decrease in productivity. And 4. Added stress at multiple levels of the organization. Depending on the reader's position in the company, he or she will either sympathize with the negative impact from the current vacancy or possibly be unaffected and read your resume with an open mind. So, given all the various audience considerations, what should your approach to crafting a resume be? Here are 4 areas I try to emphasize. 1. Focused. Your resume should be targeted towards the position to which you're applying. You will only frustrate the reader if he or she has to try and figure out how you could be a good fit. 2. Strong. Your resume should be easy to read, convey a clear message, and it should tell your story. Strong resumes can easily make it to the interview stack. 3. Positive. Your resume should present your credentials and experience in a way which wins the reader's heart and creates excitement, which leads to your winning the job interview. 4. Results-oriented. There is no substitute for a resume which explicitly communicates the value you will bring to a vacancy. Impress the reader and help him or her make the decision to move you to the next stage of the hiring process. Ultimately, you may not receive an offer, but your resume should not be the reason you don't get to the interview stage. Why it matters. Taking the time to think about your audience can help inform the tone and content of your resume. By crafting a focused, strong, and positive resume, you'll give yourself a competitive advantage so you can win the job interview. Hey everyone, thanks for listening. For more information on the topics covered in today's episode and many others, check out the articles on my LinkedIn profile, a link to which can be found in the show notes. If you feel today's episode was helpful, please consider sharing it with a friend and subscribing to the show. Tune in to Resume Ready next time when I'll be discussing why you should keep a master list of all of your achievements.